Hello, members of the vinyl community. Tony P. coming at you from La Casa de Perla, La Hacienda. The Queen is upstairs hanging out. She's watching her own shows, and I didn't have anything to do, so I came downstairs and talked to you about some things I've done over the last couple of days. Yeah, that's not how I usually catch a baseball. And I'll be quick. I don't want to lose the three people that stayed. For those who've been watching my channel, I still coach Little League Baseball. And I got into fixing baseball gloves for kids. Lacing them. I don't have a sewing machine. I don't fix leather and things like that. But I relace them. And for older kids, for older guys and that, I charge a little bit of money for it because, there's materials involved. You got to buy them. And I was fortunate to do a couple baseball gloves here in the last couple of weeks. And I used some of that for mad money. So that's why I use my prop. Yeah, I still got to fix this one. But we'll worry about that later. So I had some mad money. So I decided to take the Queen and go on a field trip. Now there's a flea market that I went to one or two other times. It's in the next county over. It's in Bedford County. And it's a place in Bedford called Founders Crossing. And it was an old 5 and 10 cent store. If you remember 5 and 10 cent stores, you probably have gray hair. So imagine a 5 and 10 cent stores. They had 2 floors. And if you go down deep into the bowels of this particular 5 and 10 cent store, you will find a record store. And I don't know what the person's name is. There's records there. And you know how it is. If this particular flea market, there's many vendors. And they are not always there. So you take your whatever you're going to buy and you take them to a counter. And so the Queen was upstairs looking at queenly things. And I went downstairs into the bowels of this old 5 and 10 cent store, and there were tons of classic music, classic rock music. And they ranged in prices from $5, well, they were $5, $10, $15, or $20. A couple were $25, depending upon what it was. Now, there is some organization to it, but you have to dig. You have to dig and you have to find them because, some $5 albums, of course, were not as good as $10 albums, but you might find a $5 album somewhere, buried somewhere else, the same band that you wanted, and for $5 it was in a lot better shape than the 5 or the 10 you saw previously. So you had to hunt, you had to do some things. And I found some things there. And I'll show you those in a minute, but my day wasn't done when we were done buying things there. We went to a flea market at the other end of Bedford. It was called Hokey G's. That's a great name for a flea market. And they had a bunch of vendors, and I found 3 other vendors that sold records and cassettes. But my problem is, by that time, it was getting late, and we still wanted to have dinner out. So my time was limited, but I did find some things there. So give me a second or two, and let me pick these up. Oh boy, 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 boy. This is the stack that I have found, and I'm going to pull a chair over because I put them on a chair when I'm done talking to you. The first one is, let me drop them. First one, Rye Cooter. Rye Cooter Paradise Lunch. Now, I didn't clean any of these yet. These are in fantastic shape. I didn't clean them yet. I haven't listened to them. I might have hit Spotify a couple of times, but nonetheless, Rye Cooter. This is called, what did I say, Paradise and Lunch. Great, 4th album, 1970 what? I don't know if I have it on here, 1974. And like I said, I haven't heard it, but I know that the big one on here is the Tatler. That is probably one of his hits. It's the one that's covered later by Linda Ronstadt on her Hasten Down the Wind album. She does, of course, a rendition of it. Another one, the last track I think on here is Diddy Wah Diddy, where he does a duet with, who was it, Earl Father Hines. So is that his nickname, Father Hines, on here? So I heard this was pretty good. There's this if you want to. And the record, this was a $10 record, I think. So I remember I had mad money. Don't get mad at me for not thrifting for $1 or something. So I had some mad money. So I was getting a little bit better on my getting. So that was Rye Cooter. Jazzy, I guess it is. Jazzy, bluesy. Okay, what's my next one? The next one, don't make fun of me on this one. This is the best of Herman's Hermits. If you don't believe me, there he is. This is MGM, high fidelity, so they say, but it's stereo. It says it right there. Again, these are primarily mint or VG. Now this one, I brought it home, looked at it under a better light, and there's a little mark there. Again, I have not cleaned these or listened to them. I'm hoping that plays through. But you know the typical suspects here. I'm Henry VIII, I am Mrs. Brown, you got a lovely daughter. I'm into something good. Can't you hear my heartbeat? The end of the world, wonderful world, sea cruise, got a dream on. But that's a double album, I believe. I think. No, it isn't. It's one album. What did I know? Okay, so I got that too. Next one. Did you ever get an album just for one song? Well, this is the album I got for one song. It's Rod Stewart. It's Atlantic Crossing. The one song I like on his is I Don't Want to Talk About It. Great song. If you go on YouTube and you search for that, and he sings it with a girl by the name of Amy Bell. I think he discovered her on the subway, and she sings that duet with him. Now, of course, it's not on here, but he does that. That's a beautiful rendition of I Don't Want to Talk About It. If you find it, get it. Again, this is on good vinyl. You can see it here. Now, there's a reason for the name, Atlantic Crossing. He leaves labels. I think this is Warner Brothers. It doesn't say, but yeah, it's Warner Brothers. He leaves his old record album company and goes to another one, so he crossed over. Plus, I think during the time period, they tried to raise the tax in the United Kingdom to 83% of your wages. And he has crossed the Atlantic to come to the United States because our taxes were lower. Okay, but that's Rod Stewart crossing the Atlantic. One side is very fast, from what I understand. The other side is slow. That was because his then girlfriend Britt Eklund, and if you know who Britt Eklund is, you do have gray hair. She was hot. Anyway, she thought it would be neat if he would do it. And I think he did it on a couple records. Okay. The next one. I hunted for this album for a long time. I found it in a flea market, and it was another flea market, not this one, and it was beat to. It looked like somebody used it to, pry nails out of the house or something. Terrible. So this is a group called Smith, and I'm sure this is a reissue, but that's okay. It doesn't have the weight on it, from the band, and you know that the group called Smith, they did the song "The Weight" on the movie Easy Rider. A little sidebar here. The movie Easy Rider wanted the band to do it, but through some contractual things, or they couldn't agree to something, they wouldn't do it. So you got this group called Smith to do it. So that's one of their claims to fame. But the other ones they have on here was called Baby It's You by the Shirelles. I even think they used that song in a Quentin Tarantino movie, Death Proof, something like that. But yeah, the Smiths, the group called Smith, I'm sorry. Young lady has since passed away. Yeah, Gail McCormick. Okay, so that's another one I got. This one, I saw it in somebody else's YouTube. I don't, tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, was this a Record Day album a couple of years ago or last year? Michel Legrand, Legrand Jazz. You know him, a French composer, jazz pianist. Now, again, I haven't listened to these. I haven't cleaned them yet. Now, this one says featuring Miles Davis. But for the life of me, and I'm sure you people who are jazz fanatics know this, but that's the only place I see his name. Even under where it says trumpets. You know, Donald Byrd's on here. Jimmy Cleveland. Herbie Mann. Excuse me. Who else is on here? Hank Jones. Herbie. Oh, I do see Miles Davis. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Under trumpet, under side 1, I think. So it is on here. And Jane Hay, I have your album. She says she bought this on July 17th, 1959. But I think this wasn't reissued in 59. I think it's 58. And it's supposed to be mono. So I don't know if it is or isn't. This is on Columbia. And it's a 6i. So you people who are aficionados can jump in here at any time, and I'm sure you will. Tell me about Michel Legrand, and was this okay? Okay, Michel Legrand. And I'm trying to complete my jazz collection, get a little bit more into jazz. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the Ahmad Jamal trio, Pittsburgh native. And he and Earl Gardner were contemporaries of one another. He just died recently, this past year, I think, 99 years of age, something like that. And this got some good reviews. Changed the way jazz was a little bit. Jane Hay, I still got your album. Okay, the Ahmad Jamal Trio, Epic Records. So, jazz people, you want to tell me about it? Tell me about it. The Ventures. Knock Me Out. And what do you say about the Ventures? The original band members are all passed away, and they're still going on. But I think, no, I think his son is playing the drums. One of the old members. Knock Me Out. This has Slaughter on 10th Avenue. Oh, Pretty Woman, She's Not There. I Feel Fine. Gone, Gone, Gone. When You Walk Into the Room. Sha La 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 La. And Love Potion number 9, and other hits. Lonely Girl, Bird Rockers. When You Walk Into, okay? So I got that. Now, I've been hunting for this, and I knew the guy had it, and I didn't have mad money when I went there the first time. I just had pocket money, and I get $1, $2. That's right. But I went back with some mad money, and The Who, live at Leeds, first live album, 1970, I think, 70, 71, 70, I think. It does not have the band picture, but it has the set list, and something else, I think. And it looks like it's a handwritten label and so on. And this one's in pretty good shape, or in pretty good nick, as they say, across the palm. Pretty good nick, eh? Well, sorry. Another one that I've been hunting for a while, Pieces of 8 by Styx. 8th album. Good album. Renegade, Blue Collar Worker. Okay, Pieces of 8. Fantastic shape. Could be a reissue. I don't know. I haven't looked at it really close. But the last one I'm really, really glad I got was Rock of Ages by the band. This was compiled from recordings from the Academy of Music in New York City in 72, somewhere in there. Double album. They used horns, a horn section in this. That was the big commotion. But I'm sorry it went so long. It was 15 minutes. I don't usually do that. I try to keep it about 10. My new subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate you. I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you. You made an old man very happy. And there you have it. God bless America. May your force be with you. Nanu Nanu. May all your records be flat. May your stylus run true. Tony P. signing off. God bless you. Bye-bye.